We acknowledge your presence, all of you, colleagues. It won't take long. I believe that 15 to 20 minutes will be enough. We are here for one issue, but I would like to introduce the applicants that are here for one matter. Next to me, I have William Kanta, who's one of the applicants. Next to him, who will be addressing, I have Ujelas Nyalunga. Next to Jelas Nyalunga, I have Utandega Dlamini. Next to Tandega, I have Mr. Lazarus Mashaba. Next to him, I call him Comrade KK Maluman. And our attorney, as all applicants, who's will be answering more anything that is related to legal matters. I want to hand over to Comrade Jelas to address the whole house. Why are we here? And afterwards, we'll take a couple of questions. Thank you, Comrade Jelas.
Thanks very much, Chair of the session. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, comrades, members of the media. Thanks very much for coming to this media conference. As the chair of the session has already indicated that we are here just to brief you on the processes that will embark on, or that we have already resolved to embark on as members of the ANC here in Mpumalanga. A brief background, we'll all recall that on the 28th of August, comrades from this province decided to embark in a march to Lituli House to request the leadership of the ANC to intervene in a number of issues that are happening politically in the province. A memorandum of demand was submitted to the national leadership, and we gave the national leadership time and space to engage with our memorandum. Hence, after that, there was a meeting with the NWC, a visit here in the province with ourselves. And in that meeting, there were a number of issues that we engaged upon and resolutions which were taken. So therefore, the reason why we have decided to take this matter to court is precisely because there are things that we agreed upon which the leadership of the province didn't do. I believe that all of you have got our statement. I will just quickly go through our statement so that I become precise into the points as to why we are here. The African National Congress in Mpumalanga province has over a long period of time experienced a number of challenges. Among the challenges are the factionalism, gatekeeping, and hooliganism. At the heart of these challenges is the establishment of structures which are odds or against the constitution of the African National Congress. In light of the aforesaid challenges, the applicants, or as concerned members of the African National Congress, submitted a letter of demand to the national leadership of the African National Congress, wherein the following issues were raised. The creation of or establishment of branches which are not ward-based as required by the ANC Constitution and Congress resolutions. The convening of an early conference which was not requested by branches as required by the Constitution of the African National Congress. The establishment or creation of Buhlabelo region of the ANC against the Constitution of the ANC. Also, the cloning of membership, meaning that the aforesaid or many of the irregular branches were constituted and composed by duplicate members. The creation of my Hlome account, and the account was created precisely to buy membership or to pay bulk membership for comrades. The above matters constituted an integral part of our application, wherein we sought the disbandment of the Provincial Executive Committee. As disciplined members of the African National Congress, we have been approached by our leadership towards these processes. Because the ANC believe that we still can engage on matters as members of the ANC. So the leadership is engaging on these matters. However, it is against this above mentioned background that we shall update you here today about our court proceedings tomorrow in Mbombela High Court in Nelspruit, wherein our matter is going to be heard. However, of course, like we've indicated in our statement that after we have filed the papers, the leadership of the ANC indicated that they are willing to engage. There are still processes of engagement which might yield positive results. However, we believe that as these members of the ANC, we have a very strong case against the African National Congress. So we believe that tomorrow we're going to come victorious, come what may. As all these issues that we've been raised or are raised in our court papers are constitutional matters. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Comrade Jealous. Can I open question to the floor? Mandla, I'll start with Mandla from Sowetan.
Thank you very much. Yeah, as you said, I'm Mandla. The first thing is that you're talking about engagements, at which, as we speak, there are talks between yourself and maybe the leadership of the ANC, either in the province or national. Are we at a point where we may not see you going to court if ever they respond positively to your demands? That's the first one. And the second one, about Buhlabelo. Can you maybe give us a clarity on how are you maybe asking them to do this specifically? It's something that we always know it as a region. Clarity on Buhlabelo, why it should be like taken out.
My question is similar to what he's asking. If then you have taken the ANC to court and you are saying that you will be meeting with them, they've called you into a meeting, is it not contradictory on your part to meet with the very same people that you're wanting to disband themselves? Or will that demand be not part of this meeting? Because if I understand correctly, and within your papers, you were calling for them to be disbanded, this PEC. Now, what will you be discussing with the very same people that you don't want in those positions? And then secondly, what was the response from Lutuli House? Because I understand you went to Lutuli House and you asked them for the very same thing, to disband the PEC. And when we spoke, the last time I spoke to, put next to, yes, Unchali had said that they had set up a meeting with you guys to sit down and iron out these things. But at that time, you were not aware of the meeting, and the branches were still being formed and everything was happening as normal. Right now, what's going to happen? You're going to meet with them, and are you still calling on them to be disbanded?
Thank you, Chairperson. It's Vosingosi Mswaulo na Voice of Hope. Umbuto wami nje mfushane. Nibale amongst others the disbandment. Other than that, kulama issues leseno outline ile la besingathanza kuba nemhlahlandlela ukuthi yini kahle kahle lenifuna kuyizuza ngaphandle kwale disbandment.
Thanks very much, Chair. I think on the issue of engagement, let me club it with the question from the SAPC. We are not engaging with the leadership of the province because we cannot engage with them because we are complaining about them. So our engagements are between ourselves and the national leadership. As to whether if we find common ground with the national leadership on our demand that they disband the PEC, then there will be no need for us to go to court, because our prayers in court is that the PEC must be dissolved. So if our engagement with the national leadership come to a point where the national agrees that they are going to disband the PEC, therefore there will be no need for us to go to court. In terms of the issue of Butlabelo region, this matter is the same as this of branches, if we may put it, because the ANC took a resolution that we are going to create regions based on the local government municipal demarcation, meaning that we are going to have a branch where there is a ward in terms of the municipal demarcation. We are going to have a sub-region where we have a municipality in terms of the demarcation by the demarcation board. We will have a region where there is a district or a metro in some instances. We will have a region. So now, in our case here in the province, we have 3 districts in terms of the municipal demarcation, which is Nkangala, Hartsibande, and Ehlanzeni district. So why here at Ehlanzeni we have 2 regions of the ANC? Because we must have 1 region of the ANC, like Nkangala, like Hartsibande. So we are calling the disbandment of these 2 regions on those bases that we can't have 2 regions in 1 district. We must have 1 region in 1 district. If they want to create another region, then there must be another district, which will be called Butlabelo district. Therefore, we will have a Butlabelo Regional Executive Committee of the ANC. So that's how structures of the ANC are being constituted. So that's the reason why we are calling for the disbandment of Butlabelo region. We are saying they must do what they've done to these branches. Remember when we complain about the branches, they agreed, they dissolved them. They dissolved these branches. So even this one is left out. They must dissolve the regions, have a tax team, prepare for a regional conference, so that we'll have a region that constitute Bushbuck region as a sub-region, Tabachew as a sub-region, Bombela as a sub-region, Ngomas as a sub-region. I will just give my colleague on the other part to respond.
Thanks, Chairperson.
afternoon to the media here. Indeed, we are going to court tomorrow. Our papers has been filed and we're ready. Secondly, there's no contradiction, as Comrade Jelas is saying. We're engaging with the national leadership of the ANC to try and find common ground. But the court papers are in court and we're not withdrawing them up until now. As we present our statement now, there's no final outcome of those discussions. But they will be going on until we find each other. However, tomorrow indeed we're going to court, as our papers are indicating. What is that one to achieve with the dissolution of the PEC? The National Conference of the ANC resolved that this year of 2018 is the year of renewal and the year of uniting the African National Congress. For the past 9 years, Mpumalanga has been a playing ground of factions, of gatekeeping, as well as manipulation of organizational processes, which the Constitution of the ANC, as the Supreme Guide document, has been one document that was underutilized by the leadership of the ANC in Mpumalanga. Branches were established outside the character of the ANC in terms of its constitution. How do we build or establish structures? So we want to achieve the renewal program of the ANC. We want to achieve the process of uniting the ANC because a number of good comrades, because of factions in the ANC in Mpumalanga, has been left outside the space of participating in the living organization, which is the ANC. So that's why we're saying this piece is conflicted, because it has been part and parcel of transgressing and violating the constitution of the ANC. The 50th National Conference of the ANC in Mahikeng in 1997 resolved that the national leadership that was taking the leadership at that time, led by the then President Thabo Mbeki, must align ANC structures with the municipal structures or demarcation that at that time we were immediately out of the national elections of 1996, the first national government elections. So the NEC of the ANC took a resolution to come with a campaign in responding to the resolution of the ANC of one ward, one branch. It was a campaign of the ANC. And in that, they were responding to the National Conference resolution as an instruction to the NEC. It is in Mpumalanga that you find that we have one region that has been established, demarcated into two. And the question is why? What is that wanted to achieve with that? A creating of structures and establishment of regions which were against the district of government. It is because they were utilizing these structures for one reason: to manipulate outcome of conferences. That was the reason, nothing else. Because it served a purpose that the center is not holding. District as a district of municipality doesn't take orders from Bushabelo, it doesn't take orders from Hlanzeni. And they are hanging from somewhere. So who is in charge? Because the resolution of Congress gave regions of the ANC a clear constitutional mandate when we went to Mangaung. That regions now, for the first time in Mangaung, they will be given a constitutional responsibility to oversight municipalities. So in this question, who is in charge of oversighting activities of governance in the Hlanzeni district? Is it Bushabelo or is it Hlanzeni? It's a question that must be answered. Hlanzeni itself, it's a region that must be dissolved because it does not conform to the constitutional provision and the resolution of Congress of Mahikeng, and which was affirmed up until the 54th National Conference. That resolution isn't changed. It remained the same, one ward, one branch. Structures of the ANC aligned to those of government. So that's what we're trying to achieve. The ANC in Mpumalanga must be reconfigured. There must be a total overhaul because there are no structures in Mpumalanga. There are no structures. We are going to court again because the amalgamation process that was instructed by the Secretary General of the ANC itself, we challenge it. That process on its own was wrong. We say it was unconstitutional as it has been proven beyond reasonable doubt that the establishment of the ABC structures of the ANC themselves were unconstitutional. So the amalgamation is unconstitutional because whenever something unconstitutional has happened in the movement, it means that we have violated the constitution of the ANC. So if we have violated the constitution of the ANC, something must be done. Disciplinary action must be taken. Section 25 must be invoked. So here, you want to correct the wrong with another wrong. The very same structures that we have cried about to say they have been cloned, the membership that has been cloned, you are saying they must be amalgamated. It's a problem. That's why we're saying this piece, it doesn't have control, they're conflicted, they don't have powers anymore. Confidence in members of the ANC to this PC, I can tell you where I'm sitting, is in its lowest level. The trust to this leadership of the ANC, we no longer trust this PC that has capacity because it has continuously conflicted itself. The number of disputes after the amalgamation process are a clear indication of how much this leadership, these people in the region, in the province, has continuously to manipulate processes of the ANC. That is a clear indication. So we are going to court tomorrow as part A to say part of the reason is that this comrade could not continue to preside over ANC constitutional activities, which include BGMs of the least conference of the ANC. If they fail to amalgamate structures of the ANC, we cannot therefore trust them with the responsibility to preside over a very important process of determining who becomes a member of the ANC in parliament, which is one of the important structures in governance. We can't afford that. So these are the reasons that we are going to court and why. What is it we want to achieve by the dissolution? SABC, my fellow sisters, Bongi. Indeed, by the time we interviewed us, we had no communication from either the national leadership of the PC. Immediately after our interview, we were called by the NWC of the ANC and we have met with them. We have tabled our presentation in our report and they have made commitments. And we have indicated to them that meeting the NWC is a sign of discipline from our side. However, we'll utilize that as a passage to the court if our issues are not resolved on time. And up until to date, some of the issues that were supposed to be resolved by now were not resolved. And we've informed the national leadership that the PEC of Mpumalanga are the law unto themselves. They don't listen to anyone. They don't take any instruction from anyone. The Dispute Resolution Committee of the ANC has given them some instructions that they must deal with them with immediate effect. They have failed. None of them has been implemented. So far as to the issue of meeting the NWC, we have met with them and we will continue to meet with them because they are leaders of the ANC elected by Congress. But on these matters of the province, indeed, because we see that the PEC is adamant to continue the status quo of making sure that they continue the manipulation of process, making sure that they gatekeep, and good comrades are left outside during this kind of a process. Because some of the members of the PC, they're in the PC not because of merit, not because of capacity, not because of their credentials in the struggling politics of the ANC, but because they belong to a faction. That's why they're members of the PC of the ANC. Buhlabelo must be dissolved. There's no question about that. We must all agree as members of the ANC, if indeed the ANC must be renewed, the spaza shop that was established of Hlanzeni and Buhlabelo must come to an end. These are not structures that are legitimate. They cannot be. A district or a region must start from Komazi to Bushbuck Ridge, include 4 municipalities: Tabacheu, Bushbuck Ridge is a sub-region, Bombela, and Komazi. That is a region called Hlanzeni. That must be established in the renewal spirit of the ANC. The response to the tool, as we have asked, is the issue of instructing the NWC to come down to meet with us, and the NWC is finalizing the investigation report, which the investigation report will determine whether what we've presented unto them will give evidence to say the PC of Mpumalanga must be dissolved, according to what the NWC has told us in our meeting, because when we met with them, they agreed that most of the constitutional matters that we've presented to them indeed are genuine, but they have no authority as the NWC to dissolve the PC. It is the prerogative of the National Executive Committee. So the NEC will not just dissolve, but there must be a proper investigation and a proper report presented unto the NEC. Then the NEC will take 8 decisions into that. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Can I take another round of questions? I think you have a mic next to you.
Thank you. Again, when you speak about the, first of all, branches being cloned and problems of this nature, and also bogus branches, gatekeeping and the like, have been happening for years in Mpumalanga. And there have been a number of reports, or maybe members of the ANC lodging disputes to the PEC and the NEC of the ANC. However, we have never got something that you guys, okay, we've won this case. This has happened for years. So what I'm trying to ask is that, isn't it that the NEC of the ANC is not listening to you, but listening to someone? Don't you think so? Who's controlling the NEC decisions and everything, based because a particular someone is controlling what is happening in Mpumalanga? Don't you think so? Then the second thing will be the issue of, because if truth be told, if these have been happening, I've been following meetings of guys complaining now and again, but nothing has been done. Instead, they went to the equivalent, as they will call it. Just to check, guys, do you think the NEC itself it's enough to deal with these issues? Like, to have trust in the NEC that it will resolve this? And then the second thing is, or lastly, is that if you win in court to dissolve the PEC was elected in 2015, which your reports, maybe things that you are going to submit, is that it was elected by the very same bogus or clone branches. Having Mpumalanga in 2017 being the second biggest to go to conference, that means the very same NEC might find it hard to agree with you, because they know that some people find a loophole to go and challenge the election of the NEC, because Mpumalanga, which was having problems, had the second biggest maybe delegation.
Yes, colleagues. Bene bengicela kubuta ukuthi, is there a time frame that has been set ukuthi you are expecting a response from the NEC with regards to your pleas? Number 2, lo mnye umuntu angathi mhlawumbe lawa ngathi ma continuation wema factions. Why now? Why nifuna ukuthi manje ibuhlabela ibe dissolved? Sibe kube nelona ne region lay1 ngala eMpumalanga, because sekunesikhathi lesize ibuhlabele ihleli as a region. So we are heading towards elections lo mnyaka lotako, and kusana le contestation yakhona ye PGC lebekumele ukuthi ihlale lapha eMpumalanga lengahlalanga. Kepha nje umbuto wami bewulapho ukuthi, wouldn't you say ukuthi it's a continuation of factions within the organization?
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. When the NWC arrived here, we presented ourselves as concerned members of the African National Congress. We never presented ourselves as aggrieved, as were being coined. And it will be unfair to say it's a continuation of factions in Mpumalanga. This is the year of renewal, 2018. It's time for the ANC to clean itself. Sipo from Sowetan is saying this matter has been continuing for the past 9 years. These matters of constitutional breach in the movement begin to find expression after the conference of the ANC that was convened in Showground. These are the outcome of that conference, because these unconstitutional practices begin to emerge out of that. The level of intolerance amongst members of the ANC started there. When we presented ourselves to the NWC coming to a matter, we said, when the PEC is dissolved, there must not be a winner or a loser, but it must be an inclusive of capable members of the ANC who are part and who has been part and who has political and struggle credentials. Not ourselves, not me that I'm speaking here. There are capable men and women of the ANC who are outside, who can serve better the movement without any personal ambition of generating a irregular income because of belonging to structures of the ANC. Those that are in the ANC currently are utilizing those positions as a platform to milk state resources to enrich themselves. For 9 years, there's not been any political development in Mpumalanga. You can ask them. There are no political programs here. The structures that you see, Yobu Hlabelo and others, as I've indicated earlier on, were only established purely for conference reasons. That Tanzania and Buhlabelo, when they combine, they become super regions in the province. And they continue to clone the membership and the branches. So we are not here to, and we're making a plea to ourselves that we must speak to our own conscience, that we don't want to wish away the current PC because we want to be replaced by us and continue to what they are doing. That is why we are promoting the constitution of the ANC to remain a supreme guidance of the ANC, that it must be the one that be utilized in establishing structures. Through the eye of the needle must be a guiding document to elect leadership of the ANC, not the appointment of individuals. The last conferences of the ANC, there was no contestation. You must know, it is against the internal democratic processes of the ANC. So it only happened in Mpumalanga as a symptom and a sign of unity, democratic practice of the ANC here in this province were suppressed. So we don't want factions to continue. That is why we are making a call to every member of the ANC in every corner to support this call of the dissolution of the peace of Mpumalanga, and we start a new dawn, a new African National Congress that will serve all of us, because the current one is serving certain individuals. Good comrades, I'm speaking about good comrades who have capacity, trained by the very same movement. They are being isolated to serve their own organization. So we don't want to continue promoting factions. It will be unfair of us. The time frame of discussions. Discussions must continue until we achieve our prayers of having a new dawn and a new African National Congress in Mpumalanga. We'll never stop engaging. We'll never stop. That is why we don't want to put pressure to anyone. But we are saying, the leadership of the ANC have an opportunity now that we have exposed the truth, and the truth is in court. And when it's in court, they will be expected to come and testify. And if you will ask members of the ANC to come and testify to the allegation that we have presented before court, I can tell you, you'll have more than the number of members of the ANC that are currently in database who can go and testify with the allegations that we've presented, because everybody in Mpumalanga knows what's going on. And they've been quiet. They've not been quiet because they didn't want to say anything. They've been quiet because they are living in fear. Fear was instilled amongst all of us in the province, And comrade will continue to ask you, what made you to talk now? It is because the spirit of the 54th National Conference give us comfort and courage to say it's time, it's now or never to clean the African National Congress. The PC that was elected in 2015, Comrade Sido, by these bogus structures. In 2015, I think if you are here, you have realized that we stormed in the so-called bogus Provincial General Council that was convened at Mbombela Stadium. The leadership of the ANC, the former TG of the ANC was addressing Ehlanzeni at that time, and other NEC members were deployed in different regions. What they did is that people bussed ordinary people to that meeting, and it was converted to the so-called PGC of branches of the ANC, which branches of the ANC never convened BGMs one to instruct or delegate delegates to that PGC to speak about an early conference. And the NEC granted an early conference of Mpumalanga based on that PGC, which was unconstitutional on its own. So those bogus branches, indeed, they've elected that PC, and we want to deal with our internal and domestic matters of the province. We're not worried about Nasrec for now. Our interest is the issue of Mpumalanga. Nasrec is not an issue of Mpumalanga, but the leadership and the outcome of Nasrec is an outcome of 9 provinces of the ANC. It's not about Mpumalanga. If there are implications thereof, the national leadership must respond on the internal engagement to deal with what we are presenting before them, so that it must not arrive to any complication that are unnecessary. We are making a call to the NEC now, that the NEC must apply its mind. If indeed they realize that there might be implications, they must do the right thing. The right thing is to conform to the constitution of the ANC, because we are raising constitutional issues. We are not raising any matter that are personal. So we think that the NEC of the ANC has capacity to deal with that.
Thank you. There is any other question? Any questions before I can close down? Last one.
When was the meeting with the NWC? And seeing that you're going to court tomorrow, we only have a few hours left. What's going to happen?
Well, the meeting took place on the 22nd of September 2018. Well, of course, if we can't find each other with the leadership of the ANC, then we'll meet in court. That's the only. Yes, of course, we'll be ready 24/7. Even if it's 2 a.m. in the morning, if the leadership says, come, let's engage, we are prepared to go and engage. And I think one other part that Mandla has asked is that we do still have confidence in the ANC and the leadership of the ANC that they can resolve. They have got the capacity to deal with these matters. So we have confidence in them. Hence, even if they call us now to say, let's engage, we are engaging with them because we have confidence that they can resolve these matters because they are political. So they don't need a judge to tell them what to do. They can do what they are supposed to do. Thank you.
I think we have come to an end. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a lovely day.